Herdsmen, they kill us every day, for them busy, they campaign again. After they failed all the promises they made, oh, then they praise themselves. Why the masses were supposed to give them the praises we they are they run to? Move it out. I blame it on the religious leaders. I blame it on the traditional rulers. People were supposed to fight for the people, they don't compromise. Shame on the rebellious brothers. People will cry with us during answers. Today them don't join those oppressors, they eat jollof. Something on the smell of. Very soon now we go perceive them. The havoc where this government they cause my time bomb. It go soon explode. Revolution they come more. It is very close and they feel more. When the power of the people we triumph, the power of the people in power. They no even care, they no even send. Say the people they die of hunger. Hungry dog is an angry dog. One day you go bite the owner. Idle man is the devil workshop. Many youths for Nigeria no good job. And the country the youths got no future. The country is gone, that's on period. Move it on. I blame it on the judiciary leaders. I blame it on the electoral officials. People were supposed to save the nation, but they collected bribe. Shame on the armed forces. People were supposed to protect the masses. One of them they shoot on.
Kanye we na akpọkụ gị onwe gị bụ simele nke ndị agha ka igwe mere anyị ebere ka akwa nke anyị na-ebe ka ude nke anyị na-asụ wee bịa n'iru gị ka iwe eme ka Biafra wee guzosi ike ka anyị wee n'ikpete maazụ nye ha sọgotụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'ebighị ebi mara n'ebighị ebi ise.
You don't know what it means. Most of us do not understand what it means to be a Biafran. You have not seen anything yet. I was kidnapped. I was beaten. I was spat at. My clothes were ripped from my body. Women urinated and poured it on me because of Biafra, so that they may humiliate me to such a point that I will not talk about Biafra anymore. They videoed me. Masop has a video of me where they were beating me, dragging me on the floor, tearing my clothes because I spoke the truth. That did not stop me from talking about Biafra.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on this evening. Quick program is going to be a very quick one. I welcome every one of you that has connected. Please like and share the program as you connect. Share to family and friends. Share to everyone that is close to you. It is going to be a very quick one. You know, my evening program is not long. Maybe in the next 1 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes will be done, or less than that. So I welcome every one of you. Thank you so much for joining. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect everyone that is standing and paying attention. Remember, in this platform, whenever we come to speak, we do not come here to instigate violence. We don't come here to preach hate. We don't come here to attack any person's individual race or religion. What we do here is to project the case of Biafra before the whole world, to tell the world the problem we are facing. That is what we are doing in this platform, and we will continue to do so with any little opportunity that we have. And each time when we come, we also give audience to people to air their opinion. You are entitled to your opinion. In my platform, I don't gag anybody. In my platform, I allow everybody to air their opinion. The platform is for everybody, no matter what you believe, no matter where you belong, no matter what you're saying. I stand for the unification of Biafra. All I want is freedom. And I believe that is what you want. If there is something else you are seeking apart from freedom, it is up to you. When I started the program, you saw the videos I played. Those videos have lessons inside them. We are in a very terrible time. Today is not one of those best days. But there is nothing that surprises us, because whatever you see today is not stray, it's expected. Whatever you see today is expected. So when I play those videos, they are there to remind you of where we are, what is going on, and to make you to stand strong. My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are and you are listening to me this evening, I want you to tighten up your belts. We just heard Mazen Nandekano, what they did to him to make him stop talking about Biafra. Mazen Nandekano was so disgraced to an extent they want him to be ashamed of speaking about Biafra. But he never gave up. He continued to talk about Biafra even more than he has been doing. The same project is what Nigerian government is doing today, to see that they make you afraid of speaking about Biafra. They want you to be ashamed of talking about Biafra. They want you to be scared of speaking about Biafra. This is a very global project sponsored by Nigerian government. When Mazen Nandekano talks about the $1 billion they are taking from our land to sponsor evil against us, this is one of it. You just see one of them play out today. You just saw one of them play out today. If not for global conspiracy and evil, how can you imagine that a man that is fighting for the freedom of his people, following the same cause that the country that he represents, stands for, fought for, followed? Today they have turned his work to be evil. They have turned his work to be terrorism. They turn his work to be incitement. And they want me to be silent. From every indication, it is very clear that these people know what they are doing. Each time when I see things happening in Biafra, it takes my mind back to the global conspiracy that we are talking about. The global conspiracy that we cry about. That global conspiracy is serious. It is not a joke. So many of us are not taking it serious. We are not taking it serious. Some of us think it's just to entertain you. When Mazen Nandekano cried out for the global conspiracy in the court, we saw Mazen Nandekano cry out about the global conspiracy that the world is watching and do nothing about it. Some of us don't know how serious it is, but today we are beginning to understand it. My good people of Biafra, sons and daughters of Biafra, lovers of freedom across the world. Today, we are here with a heavy heart, as you know, but unshaken. In as much as we are here with a heavy heart, we are unshaken. A great injustice has been done. The Finnish court has delivered a judgment against our leader, Prime Minister Simon Ekpa Njoku. And it reeks of bias, oppression, and political manipulation. There is no doubt. The judgment was delivered today. It reeks of bias, oppression, and political manipulation. It is not difficult to see it. All you need to do is to pay attention. You see it. This is not just about our Prime Minister, Master Simon Ekpa. It is about the silencing of Biafra struggle. Make no mistake, the judgment you saw today is not just about Master Simon Ekpa. It is about silencing of the Biafra struggle. The attempt to criminalize our right to self-determination and the global conspiracy to keep us in chain. If you are sleeping, you better wake up. The battle has just begun. I repeat, it is not just about Master Simon Ekpa. The judgment you saw today is not just about Master Simon Ekpa. It is about silencing the struggle of Biafra. It's an attempt to criminalize our right to self-determination and the global conspiracy to keep us in chain. Are you going to allow that? Will you accept that? That is the question. Will you accept that? I want to tell you all Biafrans clearly, Biafra cannot be silenced. Wherever you are as a Biafran, I want you to hear me and hear me clearly. Biafra cannot be silenced. We will expose this injustice. We will speak truth to the world, and we will stand shoulder to shoulder with our leader until justice is done. Make no mistake, we are going nowhere. The battle has just started. Make no mistake, wherever you are as a Biafran, this is the time to wear that mental toughness that Mazen Nandekano spoke about. This is the time to go and wear it. If you're not wearing yours already, if you're not putting on the mental toughness, this is the right time to wear mental toughness. Everyone should hang on. Let us break down this hidden agenda behind this unfair judgment. The fight for freedom continues, stronger than ever. Our quest for freedom continues, stronger, much more stronger than ever. Don't ever think that we are going to relent. Don't ever think that we are going to hands off. Don't you ever think that we'll be weakened. Wherever you are and you are listening to me this evening, I want you to know that the battle has just begun. And we are going to fight until the last man standing. It has become very clear for those of you who are doubting about the global conspiracy. If you are in doubt about the global conspiracy against Biafrans, I believe by now you are doubting no more. I believe by now you already know clearly what you are supposed to know. You are no longer in doubt. At this stage, you no longer need somebody to tell you or to pray for you or to interpret for you. At this stage, I believe you no longer need an interpreter. It is very, very clear that the global conspiracy against us is not a joke. From the sum of information that we gathered on their judgment, it is unbelievable. Our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, was charged in relates. He was alleged of activities aimed at re-establishing the independent state in Biafra region of southeastern Nigeria, which was briefly independent in the late 60s. Biafra has been an independent nation from 1967 to 1970. A country that had their independence, and Nigeria came up against it with their allies, fought a brutal civil war, committed genocide, young men and women, children. More than 5 million people lost their life in the Biafra we are talking about. The record is there. Finland has first-hand information about what I'm saying. It's not as if they don't know. But yet, a man who sought refuge in their land, an orphan that sought refuge in Finland, obeyed all their laws, served them on different areas and angles. Yet, Finland had the mind to transact with him. They had the mind to sell him out for a pot of porridge for economic interest. The case of Biafra is not strange to Finland. The case of Biafra is not that Finland is not hearing it yesterday. Finland is very much aware they were active even during the Civil War. So they know what they are doing. They say the charge related to the Ekpa's alleged activity aimed at establishing an independent state in the Biafran region of southeastern Nigeria, which was briefly independent in the late 60s. So it is very clear that what he's fighting for is what a country that has been independent before, and then Nigeria took over it and occupied the space up to date. Even when they were given the opportunity to do things right, Nigeria refused to make things right. Nigeria has refused blatantly to do things right. So many opportunities were given to them by our people who were before us. Aguirre gave an opportunity. They threw it to dustbin. Or let us stop from that very independent, from that 1960. From that 1967, before the war, before they came with that their so-called police action, which became a genocide. Before then, our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu, gave them the opportunity for peace. He went ahead to say, if there is anybody anywhere on the planet Earth that has a solution to the problem without going to war, that the person should come forward. Whatever suggestion is that he is ready to embrace it. He went ahead to go with them to Ghana in Aburi and discuss restructuring. Restructuring Nigeria for a better Nigeria, not for Biafra, Biafra was not mentioned in Aburi. There was no mention of Biafra in Aburi. Aburi was for Nigeria, a better Nigeria. But instead of them to embrace it, they brought war upon us. They came with pogrom, and Biafra was only a child of necessity. Biafra was born out of necessity when it had become obvious that the agenda is to wipe away the Biafran people, more especially the Igbo Biafrans, to wipe them entirely out. There was pogrom. In a situation where corpses of Biafrans were flown to Biafra land, used truck and pack corpses and sent to Biafra land. And you want a leader to watch that and keep silent. No sensible leader will see that and be silent. Our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu, saw that and he could not behold it. He could not behold it. He has no other choice than to fight. Our eternal leader went ahead to do everything humanly possible to secure his own people, because that is the only choice that we are left with. Just as now, just like we are now, the only choice that is left for us is to protect ourselves and defend ourselves, because we are already an endangered persons in that contraption corner. We are endangered persons. We are endangered persons. There is no way you can run away from it. It is not something you can wish away. The project and the program have been made, put in place. The system have been put in place to eradicate the Biafran people from the surface of the earth. And Master Simon Ekpa could not keep silent when he saw that even Mazen Nandekano that came out to give them a chance for peace. Mazen Nandekano came and gave them a chance for peace. Called for referendum many times. Nobody listened to him. Mazen Nandekano went ahead to tell them what we need, what they need to do. Mazen Nandekano gave them a chance for peace. He told them in ABC what to do. Put airport in Biafra land. Put seaport in Biafra land. He wasn't even talking about the 5 states where the Igbos live. He said Port Harcourt, Ueli. He was mentioning them. Let there be airport and seaport there. Do their road and give them light. Let there be federal government presence there. The same way it is in other areas. A simple request that was made. They rejected it. Instead, they turned around. The same way they brought police action in 1967, which transmitted to war and genocide. Mazen Nandekano made the same request, and they brought another genocide, which the governors themselves sponsored. Governors in the Biafra land sponsored it. The Python dance. A Python dance where the military came and began to take the life of innocent young men and women in Biafra land. They went after the life of our Supreme Mazen Nandekano, and he narrowly escaped. In his home, in the process of escaping and saving his life, 28 people went down. Jack, the dog, was also killed. In the course of that, trying to make things well, peacefully, Mazen Nandekano lost his mother and his father. They died out of the trauma. 2 of them were buried the same day. Mazen Nandekano did not even have the opportunity to witness their burial. And that wasn't enough. They continued to chase him. Up to the time they went to Kenya, kidnapped Mazen Nandekano, tortured him for 8 days, extraordinarily renditioned him to Nigeria, placed him under solitary confinement till today as we are speaking. The United Nations Arbitrary Committee, as usual, came out and told them, gave them 6-month ultimatum to release Mazen Nandekano, and they refused. That 6 months elapsed. But as usual, who are those in that United Nations Arbitrary Committee? It's still the same people that have interest in Nigeria. The same people that committed genocide in 1967 to 1970 in Biafra land, who sponsored it financially, morally, and economically. They sponsored it. At this time again, they are in the forefront. In one angle, they are talking about human rights. In the other hand, they are abusing the right of the people. In the other hand, they are talking about humanity. In the other hand, they are talking about wickedness of the highest order. That is what we have seen in Biafra land. They said Mazen Nandekano must go through their court process. Mazen Nandekano went through the court process of the Zoological Republic, not the court process of Biafra, court process of the zoo. He went through the court process. And after all said and done, what happened? The court in the zoo told them to release Mazen Nandekano. In fact, one of the courts said that no law court in Nigeria has the right to try Mazen Nandekano. They don't have such right. That no law court has the right to try Mazen Nandekano. But yet, they continue to try him. The court made it clear, no law court has the right to try Mazen until they explain the situation surrounding his kidnapping from Kenya, because you cannot be in such illegality and you'll be talking about legal issues. You cannot stand on illegality and you are trying to establish legality. How can you establish legality when you are standing on illegality already? That was the judgment from their own court, but they ignored it. They continued to stand on that illegality. Hold Mazen Nnamdi and refuse to release him. Instead of letting him go, at least allow him his bail that he was enjoying before they invaded him. The evil media, sponsored by the government, anchored by the Yorubas, continue to push their lie that he jumped bail, even when they know that he never jumped bail. A man who was enjoying his bail, preparing to come to court, and you chase him to his home to go and take his life. A court in Nigeria confirmed that Mazen Nnamdi did not jump bail, but yet the Nigerian government continued to push, and the media, that he jumped bail. They continue to hold him. And Mazen Simon Ekpa Njoku, our prime minister, saw this injustice and said, no, I cannot fold my hand and allow my brother to suffer. I cannot keep silent. I cannot allow this global conspiracy to work. This story I told you is the reason our Prime Minister, Mazen Simon Ekpa, stepped in. He stepped in to continue to keep the awareness alive, to make sure that the whole world is aware of what is going on in Biafra land. He stepped in. He stepped in and continued to bring out the atrocities of Nigerian government. He continued to broadcast and continue to tell the world what the injustice against Biafra, the loss of life that is happening. Nobody was paying attention. The Prime Minister has no choice than to begin to educate the people on self-defense, which is the right of every human being. International law supports self-defense. African peoples and human rights law supports self-defense. Nigerian law itself supports self-defense. But when it comes to the issue of Biafra, self-defense now have made you to be a terrorist. When you defend yourself, they call it terrorist. I am not surprised. You saw a man who was defending himself in one of the northern states, who was defending himself against terrorists, non-terrorists that were AK-47. And this man succeeded in defending himself in the process, conquered them. Instead of allowing this man to go, they jailed the man they condemned the man by hanging because the man fought against terrorists to save his own life. They condemned the man. This news is online. Go and type on Google. You can Google it, you see the news. A man in one of the, I think from Middle Belt, who protected himself against the herdsmen. They attacked him and he fought back in self-defense. And the herdsmen lost his life. Instead of applying that self-defense, which is the man's right, upholding it, they turn it around and they condemn that man to death. Even Amnesty International, we are speaking about it. They were talking about it. These are crimes that Nigerian government are committing that the whole world know about, and yet they do nothing. The same way they are silent in the case of Mazen Nnamdi, and Mazen Simon Ekpa took it upon himself to continue to defend his people. We don't want our case to be like the case of the Jews. We don't want our case to be like the case of the Rwandans. We don't want our case to be like that of Kosovo. But what United Nations is waiting is for us. They want to confirm that we are all dead. Then they will come and use it and write a book that was a genocide in Biafra land. That is what they're waiting for. And Mazen Simon Ekpa said, no, self-defense is our right. We are talking about a man that read international law. So there's no way he will make mistake in implementing self-determination and self-defense. A man that read international law, there is no way he will make mistake. He spoke about it several times. He knows the implication of making this. He knows everything about it. But today, because of selfish interests, economic interests, the Finland authority have decided to sell out our prime minister. In the verdict of the court, they said, in its verdict, the court said that Mazen Simon Ekpa Njoku has used his significant social media following to stoke tension in Biafra region between August 2021 and November 2020. They said that it was Mazen Simon that created tension. Since they detained Mazen Simon Ekpa for more than 9 months, has there not been tension in Biafra land? In entire Nigeria as well, has there not been tension? Even before Simon Ekpa joined this struggle, there has been tension. How many people have they arrested? As we speak, the tension of the Fulani herdsmen has been for many, many years. It didn't start today. It started from the time Mazin Nandekan warned them to make sure they curb this insecurity or else it will get to other places. But they did nothing. Was it Mazin Simon Ekpa that was creating tension? Is it Mazin Simon Ekpa that brought ISIS in Nigeria? Is it Mazin Simon Ekpa that brought Mieti Allah? Is it Mazin Simon Ekpa that brought Boko Haram? Is it Mazin Simon Ekpa that brought ISWAP? But today, you can imagine what Finland is looking upon to pass the evil judgment they passed today, injustice they passed today. You can see what they're looking upon. That Mazin Simon Ekpa stoke up tension in Biafra land. How did he stoke up tension? How? How? Up to today, as we speak, go to Okigwe today. What is happening in Okigwe? Is it Mazin Simon Ekpa that is in Okigwe today stoking tension? Many villages have been sacked in Biafra land, in the Middle Belt, in the north. Villages have been sacked. People have been sacked. IDP camp, people are living in IDP camp in their own country. People have lived in their own country, living in IDP camp for 20 years. Some were born in IDP camp and they married in IDP camp. Was it Mazin Simon Ekpa? I am asking question. Was it Mazin Simon Ekpa, Finnish authority? Alex Stop. Was it Mazin Simon Ekpa? How does that amount to? How does the followership and the education that Mazin Simon Ekpa was given to his people to defend themselves, how does it amount to stoking tension? International law supports self-defense. In fact, go to the United States. That is where you see self-defense. It doesn't matter who you are. When you want to take somebody out, the person will take you out first. African peoples and human rights support self-defense. The zoological police, even now as we speak, we saw the chief of army staff come and say that everybody needs to be a combatant in Nigeria. Is Mazin Simon Ekpa around? Is it Mazin Simon Ekpa that is making them today to go and prepare and become a combatant? I want to ask you, is it because of Mazin Simon Ekpa that chief of army staff told the world, went to the national TV and tell people to go and train to be a combatant? Is it Mazin Simon Ekpa? I am asking a question. Is it Mazin Simon Ekpa? I'm asking Finland authority, Alex, stop. Is it Mazin Simon Ekpa? Is it Mazin Simon Ekpa? Is it Mazin Simon Ekpa that made the DG of SSS to tell the people that they should go and begin to guide themselves and prepare themselves? Is it Mazin Simon Ekpa that is telling every village to get their vigilante? Is it Mazin Simon Ekpa? Is it Mazin Simon Ekpa? But yet, because of economic interest and wickedness, Finland authority under Alex Stop passed an injustice against an innocent man. Today is a black day. Today is a black day. One of those days you never believe it exists until it happened to you. One of those days that we believe in 21st century we will not see again. But look at it, in 21st century, look at what we are saying, what we are seeing. Look at the judgment that somebody is passing. In 21st century, if you are an African and you are in Europe, if you are an African and you are in Europe, now you know your fate. Mazin Simon Ekpa is not just an immigrant in Finland. He's not just a citizen of Finland. He has served in every level. He has served in every level without any single problem. Without any single bad record. Served in the military, served as a counselor. Have a law chamber where he's operating. With a clean slate. Upon all this, the Finland authority ignored all this and they pronounced injustice against him. Now, you that is in Europe, you are proud that you have a passport. You know your fate now, right? If Simon Ekpa can be treated in this way, now you can imagine. But I know the aim is to make you afraid of your freedom. The aim is to make us ashamed of our freedom. The aim is to make us scared of our freedom. That is the main objective. That is what they tend to achieve. And they are using Finland to achieve that. They want you to be afraid. They want you to get to a time when people will be scared to open their mouth and shout Biafra. Just they are doing the same thing they are doing in Nigeria today. The same thing they are doing in Nigeria. And my fellow Biafran, people that are Biafran like you and I, are the ones that are in the forefront, pushing the agenda, sponsoring the agenda. In the forefront, content creators of Biafra origin, go and check their platform and see what they are doing. Content creators from Biafra origin, go to their platform and hear what they are saying and what they are doing. You will marvel. Force flag operation is not, it didn't start today. Nigerian force flag operation did not start today. We have video evidence to confirm their force flag operation. They conducted force flag operation against their own citizens during the NSAS. They conducted force flag operation during the time of bad governance. They conducted force flag operation against the Shite group. They conducted force flag operation against the Okuama people, Okuama innocent people. They did the same thing in Udi. Where haven't they done it? It didn't start with Biafran people. It didn't start. And upon all these things, even when we have evidence to prove that these destructions are done by Nigerian government, the terrorism is pushed by Nigerian government, the insecurity is sponsored and powered by Nigerian people, the Nigerian government sponsor and buy. The people that are sponsored, Nigerian government sponsor financially, morally, and otherwise, they are the one pushing the insecurity. Even when this information is in the public, yet, go and see our people what they say. People of Igbo extraction, go and check their platform. Go to TikTok, you see many of them talking rubbish. That our people, we are the cause of the problem. That we are the ones killing ourselves. They are there providing information for, providing an excuse, not information, an excuse for Finland to do what they are doing. The division among us is providing excuse for Finland to do what they are doing. Instead of us to speak in one voice and focus, look the enemy in their eyes and tell them what they are. Look the enemy in their eyes and call them what they are without missing a word. We are busy chasing shadows. The false flag operation of the Janjaweed in Biafra land cannot be underestimated. We have seen it again and again and again and again and again. And it will continue to happen. Even as we speak, it is ongoing in Okiwe. It is happening in Okiwe, even as I speak. And upon that, Finland has all this information and they still stand on it. And they say that Mazi Simon Ekpa is stoking up tension from 2021 to 2024. That was why they passed this evil judgment against him. It added that Ekpa was an influential member of Biafran separatist movement, which established armed group aimed at bringing about Biafra independence by force. So it is based on this that Finland decided to jail our Prime Minister. They said that our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa is an influential member of Biafran separatist movement. We are freedom fighters, we're not separatists. We are fighting for self-determination. We are not separatists. We are indigenous people of Biafra. That is whom we are. We have our nation and we are in our country, which established armed group aimed at bringing about Biafra independence by force. They say aimed at bringing Biafra independence by force. So it is this by force. That is why and Finland got their independence from Russia by force, not by play. I have never seen any country that got their independence by joke. There is no country that got their independence by joke, including United States. Before United States could get their independence, they blew the British away from their land. Before Israel could be able to get their independence, they blew the British away from their land. So many other countries that you can think of, go to Germany, there was this force. The kingdom of God suffered violence, and only violent won't take it by force. That word is not just a Bible quotation. It is a reality. It is a reality in display. And we have seen countries where it worked. Nobody is going to dash you freedom. These people know it. They know. Finland know because they passed through the same process. Finland did not beg for freedom. Finland took their freedom from Russia by force. They fought war. Finland fought war with Russia. They fought them to be free. But because Mazi Simon Ekpa took refuge in their land, served them diligently, and now want to do the same thing they did to be free, they don't want him to be free. They want him to remain a slave under them. You see the double standard. That when it comes to the Biafran people, human right is no longer human rights. When it comes to Biafran people, genocide is no longer genocide. When it comes to Biafran people, humanity dies a natural death. We will never give up. I believe there are still men of conscience across the world. There are still a lot of men of conscience upon the world that will hear our voice and listen to our complaints. And Chukwu Okekabiama will bear us witness. It says the district court's ruling further noted that Ekpa had supplied these groups with weapons, explosive, and ammunition through the network of contacts in the region. And he was also found to have encouraged the followers on social media platform X to commit crime in Nigeria. Just imagine. On where did the Mazi Simon Ekpa permit people to encourage people to commit crime? Where we are on planet Earth, on which video? The only thing that Mazi Simon have always advocated is self-defense, that we should not fold our hands when you see something that want to harm you. When somebody comes to take your life, don't fold your hand. Fight as much as you can to survive. That was the message of Mazi Simon Ekpa. Mazi Simon Ekpa is living in Finland. How did Mazi Simon Ekpa supply ammunition from Finland to anybody in Biafra land? Was it Finland authorities? Maybe the Finland government were the one that supplied the ammunition. Because with the security architecture of Finland and everything, they are supposed to know. If Mazi Simon Ekpa was transporting any arm from their country, they should have known. When you read this, you see that everything is based on speculation. And the people that provided all the speculations are Nigerian agents. Nigeria, that their human rights stands zero. And yet, Finland court based their judgment on what they got from Nigeria, a terrorist government. You can imagine that Mazi Simon Ekpa supplied the group with weapons, explosives, and ammunitions through the network of contacts in the region. You can imagine. These are information cooked up and handed over to them, and they read it verbatim. The same way they were given is how they read it. You can see what they base their judgment on. Ekpa, a long-time resident of Lati and one-time local councillor, committed these crimes from the Finnish city. The verdict added, meaning the Finland court had jurisdiction in the case. You can imagine. What crime are they talking about? What evidence do they have? Where? All this are baseless accusations without any fact. That a man that is fighting for his freedom, asking his people to defend themselves the best. This same call of self-defense, Danjuma is making the same call in Nigeria. Will you now say that when the people from Danjuma hometown defend themselves, will you now say that Danjuma gave them ammunition? General Danjuma, former chief of army staff in Nigeria, in public, in so many series of videos, have told their people, at a stage, he told their people, go and get your own ammunition the same way the terrorists get their own. Go and get your own and defend yourself. When the people go ahead and protest and say, are you not going to come and say that Danjuma is the one that gave them ammunition? Will you now come and say Danjuma gave them ammunition? But you can imagine what an European country based their judgment on. You can imagine what they base their judgment on. Very laughable. This is injustice of the highest order. You have the jurisdiction, and this is what you could come out for. This is what you come out for. The same thing Norway is doing to Joe Ayoba. These tiny countries that have nothing to offer, that cannot feed themselves. These beggarly countries that are barely begging for survival. These are the ones they are using as their footstool. The same thing is what Norway is doing to Joe Ayoba today. Ekpa had denied all the charges in court. Born in Biafra, he moved to Finland in 2007 as an athlete. The court on Monday also convict him of aggravated tax. They also charge him for tax. They charge him for tax fraud. This tax fraud, we saw them, they brought in. You know the funny thing? When Simon Ekpa was arrested, there was no evidence whatsoever. All these things begin to come out after the head Simon Ekpa was 6 months. They begin to fish. They begin to fish for evidence. Begin to fish for evidence everywhere. They say they also convicted him of fraud, tax fraud. Of tax fraud. This is a man who has been there since 2007. With all their technology and anything, you never saw him committing any tax fraud. And you know how tax works. When they want to get you on tax, any country that want to get you on tax, you can't escape it. Remember, even Donald Trump of the United States, that is the president today, was also indicted in tax. There was a time they called him a time that he committed fraud in tax. So when you look at all this, you see this is a politically motivated attack, sponsored by federal government of Nigeria, and which Finland government have bought into because of their economic interest. The district court verdict is not final, meaning it can be appealed to a higher court. And I believe that we are going to go for appeal. It doesn't matter how long it takes. We will go for appeal. We are going to appeal. Whatever they have said is unacceptable. It remains unacceptable. This is injustice of the highest order. I don't care what they say or what they do. Every one of us knows the truth. Self-defense is the right of every human being. International law supports self-defense. African peoples and human rights law supports self-defense. The Zoological Republic Nigeria also supports self-defense. So I don't know why, in the case of Biafra, self-defense becomes a crime. I can't explain that. Can somebody tell me why self-defense will be a crime when it comes to the issue of Biafra? Why? With all this thing I read here, you can see that every single thing they are throwing at Simon Ekpa is baseless. It's based on speculation. They said and they say and they did not say. And Finland, because of the desperation for gas, oil, and petrol, because of the gas in Biafra land, they signed their contract of how many years they want to sign. But I tell you, it is not Uhuru yet. It is not Uhuru yet. It is not Uhuru. Every single Biafra, you must tighten up your belt. The major thing they want to do is to make you scared of asking for your freedom. They want you to be scared of asking for freedom. They want you to be shy of talking about freedom. Listen to what they did to Mazen Nandekano, then you understand. This one with his own people, his own brothers, what they did to him. What they did to him. To make sure he became ashamed of Biafra so that he will not fight for Biafra again. Today, the international communities are doing the same thing. The global conspiracy today, They want to make it in such a way that those of us, even those of us living abroad, will be scared of coming to support the Biafran people. We'll be scared of talking about our freedom. They want to criminalize self-determination. That is what they are doing. What is happening in Biafra land cannot happen in any other part of the world and they will be silent. No. As we speak, innocent children, mothers, old and young are dying in Biafra land. Even as you're watching me, people are falling in Biafra land. And more people are going to die if nothing is done. Wherever you are as a Biafran, tighten your belt. Don't lose faith. They can pronounce any amount of time they want. I know that our Prime Minister is definitely going to appeal it. The judgment is not final. It is subject to appeal. And when we appeal, we follow them there. Whatever be the outcome, we are ready to follow them. We are going to test their court onto the highest level by the special grace of Chukwu. The evil court of Finland will be tested. And I believe that one day, Chukwu will put somebody in position who will see this injustice and say, no, it will not happen. Chukwu will put somebody in position that will look at this and say, this is an injustice, and it will not continue. That is why I believe strongly that an appeal will come. Our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, will appeal. That is my belief. I strongly believe that. And after he has appealed, Chukwu is going to touch somebody who is going to see this and say, this injustice will not continue. There is no way he's going to spend that time in detention. It's not possible. As long as Chukwu live it is not possible. He cannot spend that time in detention. Do not be discouraged. It is a thing of concern. Many hearts are broken. Many people are shaking. Feelings are running up everywhere. I can understand that. But wherever you are as a Biafran, I urge you in the name of Chukwu to stand strong. Don't give up. Stand firm and stand strong. It is not over until it is over. We must get our freedom. Come sun, come rain. Our freedom is sure. It is a very difficult time for us. It is a very difficult time for us. But you must be strong. That mental toughness that Mazin Nandekano spoke about, this is the time. This is the time to activate mental toughness to the highest level. Activate mental toughness to the highest level. Don't wait for anybody. Do not wait for anybody. Take up the responsibility yourself and do what you have to do. Let them know that Biafra is not one person. Biafra is not dependent on one person. That nobody, we don't need anybody to instigate us. No true Biafra needs somebody to instigate him. You don't need anybody to instigate you. Every single one of us that are genuinely Biafrans, born and brought up Biafra, from the day you were born, once you step into this world, you know the situation you are in. The story is your palm. You don't need to even ask your parents what happened. Once you are born in Biafra land, a Biafran, unless you are born after Biafra land, some of them who are born after Biafra land, they might be seeing a different thing. But if you are born in Biafra land, from the time you are born, you enter primary school. In the primary school, you will see that you are not the same with others. More especially those of us that have opportunity to be in the Southwest, you are going to school in the Southwest, or you're going to school in the North. From primary school, you understand. You'll be asking yourself, am I really in the right place? You enter to secondary school, you'll still be asking yourself, am I really in the right place? Then when you finish your secondary school to the university, you begin to understand it clearly. When you see the cutoff mark that is coming from your side and the cutoff mark in the other area, and the way they play with your result, after your sleepless night and you manage to make it again, appointments, you see the way they made the appointment. The quota system will be clear. You will tell you that you are not part of them. Even if you used to say that before, the tenor of Tinubu have explained it more. that you are not part of the project called Nigeria. We are not part of it. So when you see Biafrans say they are going home, it is because they are not part of that project. We don't need anybody to instigate us. I don't need anybody to instigate me or beg me. That is why I say in Biafran journey, nobody employed me. Nobody called me to come. Nobody preached to me. Nobody employed me. Nobody will say that he's the one in control. No, you don't. It is a project from birth. I saw it that it's something that is going to strengthen my life. Then I followed it. Likewise, so many of us. You don't need somebody to preach to you. All you need to pay attention and hear the word of encouragement. Some of us are looking for that very angle, to anchor. That is all we do. We come here to give you that angle to anchor and do what you got to do. It is a matter of life and death. Biafra is a remedy to save life. That is what it is. Biafra is not meant to take life. It's a remedy to save life. Not only life of Biafran people, life of everybody in that contraption called Nigeria. Because everybody in that contraption is an endangered person. You can continue to pretend. Everybody in that contraption is an endangered person. And that is why we have taken it upon ourselves to do what we have to do. To save everyone. Once Biafra is free, Arewa will be free. The Oduduwa people will be free. The Middle Belt will be free. And we, the Biafrans, will be free. As I have always said, we don't have a problem with anybody creating your caliphate in your area. We don't have a problem with anybody creating a monarchical system. We don't have any problem in you having your secular system. But you must create it among the people in the midst of those that agree. As we know, the northern part of Nigeria, the color north, they love a caliphate. And I don't have anything against them. They should enjoy their caliphate among themselves. Allow them to create that country that will be conducive for a caliphate. That does not stop us from associating with them. That does not stop us from doing business together. That doesn't even stop us to marry if we choose to marry there. It doesn't stop anything. The same thing with the Oduduwa land. It doesn't stop. What we are saying is that to remove this destructive diversity that is creating this chaos, to remove it and make it die a natural death, let this contraption disintegrate. Once you disintegrate this contraption, the interest will die a natural death, and the problem of the people will be resolved 80%. The insecurity will die a natural death. It doesn't just do this. Once you do it, the problem will solve itself. It is not just we are not just guessing. It has been done in several places, in Asia, in Russia, in Europe, in America. People create country among people that have the same value system. Let people go according to their value system and have their own country. People that have that value system of a caliphate minded, let them go and create a caliphate. Those that have a monarchical system, go and create theirs. Those that have the secular system, go and do theirs. That is all we are asking. It doesn't mean that we will be enemy. We can still interact. We can still work anywhere we want to work. We can still pick up citizenship anywhere we want to pick citizenship. We can marry anywhere we want to marry. It doesn't stop that. But let there be dignity, human dignity. Let there be respect. Let us respect each other. And the only way we can respect each other is by this disintegration. When you disintegrate the country, a new foundation will be laid. After the new foundation will be laid, if we choose to come back together, it is still possible. Nothing is impossible. But if you continue to build on a faulty foundation that was laid on lies, on the blood of innocent, on falsehood, and you are building on that false foundation, thinking that it doesn't matter how beautiful the edifice is on top of that faulty foundation. Once a breeze blows, it will fall. It must collapse. It must. It is a must. It must collapse. My fellow Biafrans, the time has come for us to do something differently. And I urge every one of us never to give up. Don't be afraid of your freedom. No matter what they do, no matter what you see, do not be afraid of your freedom. My people of Biafra, what if we have witnessed today is yet another example of war turning its back on justice when it comes to Biafra? That is what you saw today. Mazi Nani cannot talk a lot about it. Mazi Simon Ekpa talked about it. But today, before your own very eyes, you have witnessed one. What we witness is yet another example of war turning its back on justice when it comes to Biafra. The Finnish court judgment against Simon Ekpa Njoku, our Prime Minister, is an injustice, not just to him, but to every Biafran yearning for freedom. But remember, always remember this: no court, no prison, no judgment can stop an idea whose time has come. Remember this: no court, no prison, no judgment can stop an idea whose time has come. The spirit of Biafra is alive, and no amount of intimidation will erase it. Let the Finland authority hear this. Let Elastop hear this. Let this be our message to the world. We stand with Simon Ekpa Njoku, our Prime Minister. We stand with Biafra. We will never retreat, and we will never, ever surrender. My fellow people of Biafra, I thank everyone that is standing with the truth. If you are standing with the truth, I thank you so much for standing with justice. Those of us that are standing with the truth and justice, I thank you all. And for those standing with Biafra, together we will rise, and together we will be free. God bless Biafra. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect Biafra. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to sustain Biafra. I appreciate everyone that have been patient with us up to this minute. I am going to stop the program here, and we are going to come back again tomorrow morning. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. If you have not yet shared this program, give a thumbs up and share. Make sure you give a thumbs up. This is the time we will engage in radical evangelism. We must all begin to evangelize. This is the time to walk more than ever. This time is the time to walk more than ever. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide every one of us Biafrans. And may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to protect our leaders, more especially our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, wherever he is now. May Chukwu Okike Abiama strengthen him. May Chukwu Okike Abiama give him a strong revelation that will give him faith. May Chukwu Okike Abiama be with him. May Chukwu Okike Abiama give him that wisdom, knowledge, strength to continue to fight on as a soldier that he is. May the spirit of our forefathers go and console him wherever he is. May the spirit of our forefathers stand with our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. No evil shall befall him. No evil shall befall him. This is just the beginning. It is not the last. And this verdict will never stand. We reject it. This verdict will never stand. We reject it, and we reject it again. It will never stand. Let the God of the land hear us, and let the world hear us. Thank you so much for being with me on this program. I will see you again tomorrow morning, same time. Let us come and continue to dig deep into this issue and continue to expose the Finnish government for this injustice against the Biafran people. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye. Good night.
Nigeria don't enter one chance, I swear, I go with the go so. Herdsmen, they kill us every day, but them busy, they campaign again. After they failed all the promises they made, oh, them they praise themselves. Why the masses were supposed to give them the praises we they here they run to? Move it down. I blame it on the religious leaders. I blame it on the traditional rulers. People were supposed to fight for the people, they don't compromise. Shame on the rebellious brothers. People will cry with us during answers. Today them don't join those oppressors, they eat jollof. Something done the smell of. Very soon now we go perceive them. The havoc where this government they cause my time bomb. It go soon explode. Revolution they come up. It is very close and they feel more. When the power of the people we triumph, the power of the people in power. They no even care, they no even send. Say the people they die of hunger. Hungry dog is an angry dog. One day you go bite the owner. Idle man is the devil workshop. Many youths for Nigeria no good job. And the country the youths got no future. The country is gone, that's on period. Move it on. I blame it on the judiciary leaders. I blame it on the electoral officials. People were supposed to save the nation, but they collected bribe. Shame on the armed forces. People were supposed to protect the masses. One of them they